That's right, I'm running a train. Or how'd this come about? Seems like it was only yesterday that this was just a pile of wood. Well, it all started about 2 weeks ago. Okay, so I came over to the other side here so we can just get another quick look at this. This is where we're coming into the yard. Got a couple of different elevations there. Again, you know, it was a full piece, and when you cut off the orange where I've X'd out orange, I can lay this piece here, just like all the other ones, on a flat piece of plywood, just like this here, and then trace out each individual piece, which is exactly what I did. And then piece it all together, but elevate it in certain areas, or raise or lower it. And then I can create landforms after. I just want to make sure all my track is good and all that before I start doing any kind of scenic work. But now we come into the yard. I've already got the plywood marked out, and you can kind of see all the blue marker. This one here has the wood already cut out in certain areas where I do not need it. And when you have a piece like this right on the end, this isn't even going to be on there. So it's going to kind of be like that. And then this piece here is going to be at that level. And it's going to come up a little bit from there. This is the main line. And then it continues on onto the next table. But I'll just put this back. So these are all the little, it's like a puzzle, right? You have to put it together like a puzzle. But first you have to draw the picture and cut out the puzzle. So coming along there, you've got the main, and it comes right down. And then it lines up at right about here with the same height as that one. So that also comes right down here. And you've got a couple of switches that are going to go up. And then you've got a siding here, which basically you're going to have a maintenance facility here. It's 4 tracks. I got to figure out how to build that, which is going to be fun. And then, yeah, just, switches going all over, crossing. This area here, this had to be lower than the rest of this. Just looking at prototype pictures of North Bay and this area, basically there's a little bit of a slope there between the tracks, so gonna see what I can do about that to make that happen. And as we are working our way in here, got another entrance here with a ladder that goes up, and then we also have a turntable. This is just some cardstock. I measured out what would have been a 90-foot turntable, I believe, which should be big enough for what I need to do. Really excited about doing that, so that'll be fun to, put in a turntable. Got a couple of tracks leading out of it to the next table, and right up the middle there, I already cut out a section there that is going to be, a little wonky, but whatever. And then we've got some tracks here that go up to another facility, because North Bay does have a paint shop. They do have a maintenance facility. They take care of locomotives, box cars, rail cars. They also repaint Go Transit cars, and they've done some other work for other road names as well. So very, very busy industry here. Just within itself, this area, which is 4 feet wide by 8 feet long, that makes for a nice switching operation just within itself, moving cars around, and also just setting up maintenance and whatnot, waybills and prepping cars to go out. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of switches, but gotta get this done, right? And then we're gonna have somewhat of a ladder here. I'm gonna see how this goes. This is kind of just a rough idea for now, but hopefully it's more in stone when I get everything else in place and I can say, okay, yeah, I'll be able to fit this here and have a good, what would be technically 7 feet and 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 tracks of siding, hopefully. So that'll be fun. And that's basically the yard. I still have to cut out all the orange on this side here and the hole for the turntable, and then put the foam on top of it. Other than that, I've got another table here I just need the legs for, and then I will have my end of the table, which will go into that, and then gonna go across there. Yes, I've got a lot of foam and a lot of pieces, which is fine because I'm gonna have a lot of terrain to fill in here, so that'll be fun. And then I can start laying track and more cork and hopefully get the bridge done soon as well. So taking a look here, I did have to take this middle module out just temporarily while I put the, I guess we can call them risers. They're just little 4-inch sections here that are attached to the inside of the module, and then this is drilled down on top. 4 is kind of the standard right along here. This has not been put down yet, but that's going to go down a little bit. I didn't cut any pieces for that. I did, I think, about 13 or 14 4-inch pieces here, and they all look identical. They're all the same, and I put them where they needed to go. This one was obviously a little bit shorter because it sits on top of this instead of it going right down. But we'll also see here that the foam goes into there. You got the 2 different elevations, and as you move along here, they start to line up. And then by the time it'll get to right about here, they'll be level with each other, and then there'll be switches going across here. So that's really neat. I'm glad that's in. The foam is not glued down yet. I'm taking strips of foam to do this because stupid me, I did all my marking on here, but it's like I can't see it, and if I put a giant sheet over top of it, then I don't really know what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm taking strips of the foam, cutting it accordingly with the edges of the actual the siding as well. So that'll get cut out there, and then I'll put another strip on, mark out those tracks and where those switches go, and then I'll just go right along and continue on until this whole thing is covered with the pink foam. Then come back and glue it all down. And then I got to do the same thing with this table. Yay! I'll probably cut these pieces out next. Just taking, all the slices off, and there's a big chunk that comes out of here, and this whole side part comes off. And then I have to put more of these blocks in just to kind of hold it up at this end to make certain elevations. And then I should hopefully be able to get this glued, and then even cork glued down, because I would love to have just like my main line done with cork, and then I can just move forward. I can put the track on it, as I get the track, and you know, throw in the switches here and there for the main, and then hopefully have at least you know, a line running where I can run a train around. That's the idea. It's almost hard to remember where I always leave off with these things, but ow. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So I've done a lot of work over the last couple of days. As you can see, I already have some foam down. Why? Well, I do want to make sure that I get my main line done before I start coming into my yard here and start doing any of that. So you'll see, obviously I've cut out a lot of wood. I have a lot of vacuuming to do apparently. But yeah, if you take a look, I already have, that's all glued down. All of this cork here is glued down. Very nice, very nice. And the reason why I'm doing this piece by piece is because for some reason, stupid me, when I got a little bit ahead of myself there, I drew out all the track plan on the wood, and as you can see, I drew it all out there and stuff. So what I do, I'll put down, let's say this piece here, so it was from here to there. I'll put that down, and then I match up all the lines on the underside, like let's say that line there, and I'll make a mark just like that, and then I draw my lines, and then I put my switch down on it, mark out where my switch is gonna go, and then I'm able to just do it right on top of the foam. And then I glue it down just like a little puzzle piece again. But you see, you know, obviously put the cork down on the mains there, so they're obviously going to be raised up, where this part here, not so much. But just happy to actually see cork going down now, because that means once I get that painted brown, then I can put track down. Yay! And that'll be fun, because then I can actually start running trains again. My goal is to more or less have a loop here done. Even on the main itself, especially this area, but especially this area here, there's a lot of switches, and obviously switches are expensive, yada yada yada, it's part of the hobby. But I mean, when I have to get like, you know, 10 of them or whatever, it takes a little bit. You know, I'm not going to drop thousands upon thousands of dollars on switches all at one time, but yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But I basically, I'll show you along here. So I got the second piece cut out here, okay, and then I did add the risers underneath. Okay, I got more cut out there. I did not cut out, sorry about the pole there, I did not cut out where my turntable is yet. You can see the circle, just because I want to make sure it is the 90 footer that I'm getting. I know there's 3 sizes to choose from. I'm pretty sure that's the one I want to get. But again, it's not part of the main, so I don't really have to worry about it at this moment in time. So it's not a big deal. Plus they're like, what, $400? Okay, well, we can wait on that for sure. But yeah, just continuing along here. I did move on to my last module this way, which basically I got the legs for it. It is propped up in there, and then I did mark out my wood for this piece here, so you can see I've got my entrance more or less for the yard here, and it all comes along. This piece here needs to be cut out still, but I'm just holding this up because it's screwed in there, but nothing's holding this up yet at this end, so just want to make sure it doesn't bend and all that, and it'll come out to here. So for crossing this narrow way here over to Coke Mountain, basically I had to build one of these. This is going to be my swing gate, I guess. We'll call it a swing gate. Probably because it'll swing and it's a gate. But it's just well, can't even really sit here. Can't even do this. Geez, that's heavy with an outstretched arm. So, yeah, okay, well, let's do it like this. Okay, whew. So basically, I built a frame, went on a 90-degree angle here up, so that basically this part here, this little bit here, touches and it covers that. So it'll slide open and then it'll come back into here. This here, see how it's rounded? It doesn't touch any of this, right? It goes in and out. And I'm probably gonna put a piece of that masonite stuff flat up against here, and I'm gonna let it curve to this contour. That way it's gonna be smooth and it'll always come right back into the same spot every single time. And then obviously we've got a main here, which goes in and goes across, and then switch there, and you'll notice this line here that cuts across everything. This here is actually going to be raised up like that, so it connects up here as opposed to down here. So it's like a double level, so that's going to be up like that, and then you're going to have a bridge that's going to cross all these to like right here. So it's going to go over top, just like that, but I'm just setting it there for now. And then when it comes across this part here, it's going to come across like this, but it's higher up. So I wanted to do these lower parts first and get that all done before I start raising that. And also, because it comes out this way, I'm not doing this section yet. I've got that piece back there though, so I can do all that, do all this. This is like a work area, plus the kids still obviously play down here, so I gotta keep this clean all the time, especially because winter is gonna be coming up soon. So yeah, I know, right? It's like almost September and I'm already talking about winter. Lame, but yeah. So I have lots to do over on this side anyways, and as long as I get this loop done where I can run trains, then I can worry about scenicking all this and whatnot. That's my level of importance right now. But yeah, I need to continue this around, tie that in together, and then all these areas here, right? Like this is probably going to be hill, so it's going to come up like this. But I have to, you know, obviously put the foam down and whatnot first. Again, it's not really priority for that area, just in this area here. And then I will have a loop again. I will be able to run trains, except for that bridge there, which I still have to figure out. I don't know. Well, I did have a bridge on my last layout, but it was just, you know, I just sat it in there and it worked, and easy peasy. But that one's gonna be a little bit more complex, I guess you can say. So yeah, this whole cookie cutter thing is working out really well. I'm surprised that I'm actually able to do this. I haven't really messed up anywhere yet, so here's that. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm very excited.